It was just another ordinary Tuesday morning at Westfield High. The hallways buzzed with teenage chatter, lockers slammed shut, and the familiar scent of cafeteria food wafted through the air. For 13-year-old Emily Thompson, it seemed like any other day as she hurried to her math class, backpack slung over one shoulder. But in an instant, everything changed. Before we begin, please hit the like button. It really helps our channel grow. Thank you, and let's jump right in. As Emily reached for her textbook, her vision suddenly blurred. The room began to spin, and before she could call out for help, darkness engulfed her. Her classmates watched in horror as she crumpled to the floor, unconscious. Across town, in a sleek high-rise office, Emily's father, Michael Thompson, was in the middle of a crucial business meeting. At 40 years old, he was the very picture of success. Tailored suit, confident demeanor, and a net worth that most could only dream of. As CEO of a Fortune 500 company, Michael was used to being in control, to having the world at his fingertips. But when his phone rang and he heard the panic in his wife's voice, all of that melted away in an instant. "Emily collapsed at school," she sobbed. "They're rushing her to the hospital." In that moment, Michael's carefully constructed world shattered. His daughter, his little girl, was in danger, and all his millions couldn't do a thing to help her. He bolted from the boardroom, ignoring the startled looks of his colleagues. His hands shook as he fumbled for his car keys, his mind racing with terrifying possibilities. The drive to the hospital was a blur of red lights and honking horns as Michael weaved through traffic, his heart pounding in his chest. He kept seeing Emily's face, her bright smile, her twinkling eyes, and prayed, to any God who would listen, that she would be okay. When he burst through the emergency room doors, the chaos hit him like a physical force. Doctors and nurses rushed past, machines beeped urgently, and the air was thick with fear and desperation. Michael's eyes darted frantically, searching for any sign of his family. "Mr. Thompson," a nurse approached, her face grave. "Your daughter is in exam room 3. The doctor is with her now." Michael's legs felt like lead as he followed the nurse. He tried to steel himself for what he might see, but nothing could have prepared him for the sight of Emily lying motionless on the hospital bed, tubes and wires snaking from her small body. His wife Sarah sat beside her, clutching Emily's hand and weeping silently. "What happened?" Michael demanded, his voice hoarse. "Is she going to be all right?" The doctor looked up from Emily's chart, his expression unreadable. "We're running tests now, Mr. Thompson. We'll know more soon." Hours crawled by like years. Michael paced the small room, alternating between comforting his wife and firing off rapid-fire questions at every medical professional who entered. He offered to fly in specialists, to pay for experimental treatments, anything to save his little girl. But for once in his life, his wealth and influence meant nothing. He was utterly powerless, reduced to waiting and praying like any other terrified parent. As night fell, the doctor finally returned, a thick file in his hands. Michael's heart leapt into his throat. This was it, the moment of truth. He braced himself for the worst, squeezing Sarah's hand so tightly his knuckles turned white. "Mr. and Mrs. Thompson," the doctor began, his tone serious, "we've completed our tests, and I'm afraid I have some unexpected news." Michael felt the floor drop out from under him. His mind raced with horrible possibilities: cancer, brain damage, some rare and incurable disease. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. The doctor continued, "Your daughter's collapse wasn't caused by any physical ailment. Our tests show that Emily is in perfect health." Michael blinked, confusion replacing fear. "But if she's healthy, why did she collapse? Why hasn't she woken up?" The doctor's expression softened. "Mr. Thompson, have you noticed any changes in Emily's behavior lately? Any signs of stress or anxiety?" Michael frowned, thinking back. Emily had seemed a bit quieter lately, spending more time in her room, but he'd been so busy with work he hadn't given it much thought. A knot of guilt formed in his stomach. "Emily's collapse appears to be the result of extreme emotional distress," the doctor explained gently. "Her body essentially shut down as a defense mechanism. We believe she's suffering from severe anxiety and depression." The words hit Michael like a physical blow. Depression, anxiety. How could he not have noticed? He was her father. He was supposed to protect her, to know when something was wrong. But she has everything, Michael stammered, his voice breaking. We've given her the best of everything. How could she be depressed? The doctor's eyes were kind but firm. Mr. Thompson, depression doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone regardless of their circumstances. What Emily needs now is support, understanding, and professional help. As the reality of the situation sank in, Michael felt tears begin to stream down his face. All his wealth, all his success, none of it had protected his daughter from this invisible enemy. He had been so focused on providing for her materially that he had missed the signs of her emotional struggle. In that moment, Michael's priorities shifted dramatically. The business empire he had built, the deals he had chased, none of it mattered compared to the well-being of his child. He vowed, then and there, to do whatever it took to help Emily heal, to be the father she truly needed. As if sensing the shift, Emily's eyes fluttered open. She looked confused and scared, but when she saw her parents, a small smile crossed her face. Michael gathered her in his arms, holding her close as tears flowed freely. "I'm sorry, sweetheart," he whispered. "I'm so sorry I didn't see how much you were hurting, but I promise you things are going to be different. We're going to get through this together." In the days and weeks that followed, the Thompson family underwent a profound transformation. Michael stepped back from his demanding CEO role, delegating responsibilities so he could focus on his family. They began family therapy sessions, learning to communicate openly and honestly about their feelings. Emily started seeing a therapist regularly, slowly opening up about the pressures she had been feeling, the expectations to be perfect, the fear of disappointing her successful parents, the loneliness of growing up in a world where everyone assumed she had it all. For Michael, it was a humbling journey. He had to confront his own role in Emily's struggles, to acknowledge that his drive for success had come at a cost to his family. He learned to listen more, to be present in the small moments, and to value emotional well-being as much as financial security. Slowly but surely, Emily began to heal. Her smile returned, genuine and bright. She started to open up to friends, to pursue hobbies she truly enjoyed rather than those she thought would impress others. The change in her was remarkable, and it sparked a change in Michael as well. He found himself reevaluating his own life, questioning the relentless pursuit of wealth and status that had driven him for so long. He realized that true success wasn't measured in dollars or deals, but in the strength of his relationships and the happiness of his loved ones. As Emily's recovery progressed, Michael made a decision that shocked the business world. He announced that he was stepping down as CEO to focus on his family and on creating a foundation dedicated to youth mental health awareness and support. Many of his colleagues thought he was crazy to walk away from such power and prestige. But when Michael looked at Emily, laughing, healthy, and truly happy, he knew he had made the right choice. The day Emily returned to school was both terrifying and triumphant. Michael and Sarah walked her to the entrance, their hearts full of pride and hope. As they watched her disappear into the building, Michael turned to his wife with tears in his eyes. "We almost lost her," he said softly, "and we would have never known why." Sarah squeezed his hand. "But we didn't lose her. We found her, and ourselves, instead." As they walked back to the car, Michael reflected on the journey they had been through. The collapse that had seemed like the end of their world had actually been the beginning of a new one, a world where love, understanding, and emotional connection were the true measures of wealth. He thought of all the other families out there, struggling silently with similar battles, and he knew that his new mission in life, to bring awareness and support to youth mental health, was far more important than any business deal he had ever made. The millionaire's daughter had collapsed at school, and what the doctors revealed had indeed left him in tears. But those tears had washed away old priorities and revealed a new path, one of healing, growth, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. As Michael started the car, he felt a sense of purpose and peace he had never known before. The road ahead would not be easy, but with his family by his side and a newfound commitment to making a real difference in the world, he knew they could face anything. and that, he realized, was the greatest wealth of all. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others. And if you'd love more inspiring stories, check out our playlist for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.